is that I'm quite likely to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Remember when Katt Williams went on a rampage, spilling all the tea about everyone in the comedy game? Well, buckle up, because Steve Harvey just entered the chat and things are getting spicy. Word on the street is Katt Williams is allegedly clapping back after Steve threatened to punch him. We're talking threats, exposing lies, and a whole lot of ego on the line. This beef is sizzling hot, and we're here to serve up all the juicy details. It all started back in January, when Katt Williams rolled up to Shannon Sharpe's show, looking all fly and ready to drop some truth bombs. And boy, did he deliver. He went off on everybody in the comedy world like he's got a personal vendetta against laughter itself. We're talking Kevin Hart, Cedric the Entertainer, and yeah, you guessed it, Steve Harvey. Katt wasn't just throwing shade, he was casting a whole eclipse on these dudes.
Steve and Cedric never performed at the Comedy Store at all. Tiffany was only seen at the Laugh Factory. In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show.
Now, when it came to Steve Harvey, Katt went in hard. He was out there saying Steve's never done his own tour in 30 years. Can you believe that? 3 decades in the game and no solo tour? That's like being a chef who never cooked a meal. But Katt didn't stop there. He's claiming Steve don't even do stand-up no more. It's like, what's a comedian who don't do comedy? A talk show host, I guess.
Faison's never done his own tour in 30 years. Steve Harvey don't do stand-up no more.
But hold up, because it gets even messier. Katt starts talking about the late, great Bernie Mac. Now, we all love Bernie, right? Well, according to Katt, Steve was out here hating on Bernie when he was alive. But as soon as Bernie passed, Steve supposedly stole his whole style. Now, here's where it gets real interesting. You know how Steve's got this whole rags to riches story, the one where he was homeless and then made it big? Well, Katt was calling cap on that whole narrative. He said Steve was never homeless, not even for a hot minute. According to Katt, when Steve was supposedly living on the streets, he was actually making bank, like $3,000 a night. That's not sleeping in a car money, that's sleeping in a 5-star hotel money.
This is like Steve Harvey telling people he used to be homeless. That's my story. That's not his story. Steve Harvey wasn't never homeless. When Mark Curry was touring with him 25 years ago, he was making $3,000 a show in cash.
And get this, Katt even goes ahead and drops another bomb. He says the reason Steve quit stand-up wasn't because of his TV shows. Nah, it was cause Katt supposedly humiliated him in front of 10,000 people during a comedy battle in Detroit. Ouch.
He stopped stand-up because he got in a comedy battle called the Championship of Stand-Up Comedy with one Katt Williams in Detroit in front of 10,000 people and lost because Katt Williams said he was actually bald and that was a wig.
Katt's not done though. He's out here saying Steve's getting paid to keep quiet about certain things in the industry. Talk about spilling the tea.
They pay you to not talk about things they don't want you to talk about. They tell you that themselves.
After all this drama, what does Steve do? At first, he tries to play it cool. Posts some clip about how he doesn't respond to haters. You know, that whole I'm above it act. But people weren't buying it. Here's where it gets good. 9 whole months go by, right? We're talking Christmas decorations are almost up. And suddenly, Steve decides to respond. Better late than never, I guess. In this interview, Steve goes off about haters. He doesn't name Katt, but come on, we all know who he's talking about. He's all like, none of my haters are doing better than me, and even throws out a threat about knocking someone out if they mention him again. Whoa, Steve, we see you.
Penny ass hater and you'll never have a hater that's doing better than you. Always know that. Don't get off the wall to dress some penny ass boy who ain't got shit for himself. Now you done stopped your climb up on the wall.
Now y'all know the internet had something to say about this. People were clowning Steve for being so late to the party. One person said, 9 months later to be exact. Harvey have several seats. Katt told no lies. So here we are. Katt Williams threw the first punch. Verbally, of course. And now Steve Harvey's coming back swinging. But the big question is this beef about to get physical? Steve's out here making threats, and we all know Katt isn't one to back down from a fight.